Buineois le Sarim Fiachin Fáilte and so with the honour of a spade and on Chin, so froste a sheer in Aidin, agus a froste a skira the Verica, agus a Suligum community saucer as an Okaj Splodder. So now I have very long speech to give you tonight. But first and foremost, I would like to welcome you all from far and near to this occasion, joyous occasion, splendid occasion that we are about to perform here. Thanks to our MC for the night and the dynamo behind the Dingle Film Festival, Morris Galway. And we have VIPs here tonight. Well, you're all VIPs. We have luminaries, or whatever you call them. We have Jim Sheridan here. And we have Cecilia Peck and Laura Dern. David Lean said once, I came here when he was talking about the making of Ryan's Daughter and selecting a location for Ryan's Daughter. He said, I came here because I wanted a wild place, and I like wild places. And the west coast of Ireland is one of the most beautiful wild places I have ever seen. Ergo, I'm making my film Ryan's Daughter here. And wasn't he right?
Yes.
A beautiful evening here. The sun is just going down over the sleeping giant, and we have half light at the moment outside anyway. Hopefully the light is a little bit better inside, but that's another story. So this is going to be a very, very nice and relaxed occasion. And I'm now going to call Morris Galway to be your MC.
Thanks very much. First of all, a big round of applause for the entertainment. David Gainey, like, wow, amazing. And Luminaire. Right?
Lumiere.
My dancing, right? No, not really. I do want to welcome 6 times Oscar-nominated Jim Sheridan. Believe it or not. This is Jim's 3rd time here in Dingle, at my request anyway. I'm sure he's been in many a bar for many a year. But he came down a good few years ago and we had a lot of fun. He introduced the 1930s film June on the Paycock, believe it or not, by Alfred Hitchcock. And we got that off the BFI, and we had a wonderful conversation. Actually, Jim did a wonderful conversation, and I never quite remember. It was something about, like, he was saying that O'Casey was trying to get the whore out of Ireland, and Jim reckoned it was his job to get her back in there. So I'm trying to figure that out. Also delighted to have Peck family, Cecilia, Daniel, and Undine, thank you. It's another one I'm tripping up with all week. Who met it all the way from Los Angeles, their 2nd time here for this award. They came for the inaugural award in 2008, and Gabriel Byrne got it. And Veronie was here, and it's a really lovely time. I'll be introducing Cecilia shortly. And then, of course, the reason we are all here this evening is for this amazing lady, Laura Dern. So welcome there. Thank you to Mihal and Demora and Donica here in the centre for allowing us to have the space. The wonderful Dingle Skelligs Hotel have been very kind to us. Sean Taps, especially Brian Stack and Mairead, who designed this award. And it's a beautiful thing. And we might talk about that. Dolores Begley and Sam Green, who's here documenting the evening. I was in my room earlier, just give you a thought, kind of give you a sense of Laura, getting to know her the last couple of days. And Catherine asked me to do a drawing inside of this book she bought her, and she bought her Adam Cara, John O'Donoghue's book. And I know when Catherine met Laura the last couple of days, that was, you know, an obvious choice for her. And I just thought it was a beautiful choice. And I thought about Laura, and she really is a very spiritual lady, a very mystical lady. And she really seems to get what's going on here on this peninsula and the heritage we have. So it was a great choice. And Adam Cara, of course, means soul friend, and now you are. This is Laura's first time in Ireland, and I just think it's really appropriate that she's found herself here in Corcaguina and here in this beautiful centre in Dunqueen. And she's here with her beautiful children, Ellery and Jaya. We've got to know the last couple of Jaya, that's another one. Lovely kids, get to know them, so welcome guys. So that's it. I'm now going to introduce Cecilia Peck. And Cecilia has been committed to this award since she first got in touch with me in 2007. And we were just kicking off that first year. It was a bit late when we were getting communications to start something. We had, if you remember, Sarah Miles here and Alan Parker opened the festival. Should I say Sir Alan Parker? And we then got you over in 2008. And Anthony came in 2009 to present the award to Jim. And we have you back to share them tonight. So please welcome Cecilia Peck.
So, Morris, this place is so stunning, and I just, you know, the dancing and music were gorgeous. I don't know how you produce these events all by yourself. I don't know if you have the fairies and the leprechauns helping you. It's just hard work, but what you do is really magical. And your whole festival is so intimate and so much fun, and just more beautiful than any festival anywhere else in the world. So thanks for bringing us here. So my father always had an eye out for young actors who inspired him and who made him feel excited about his own profession. And for him, Laura Dern was the best there is. He recognized her courage as an artist and her seeking the truth, and it affected him deeply. And from the moment that they met, I think 25 years ago, he always watched over Laura and never let her out of his sight. He and my mother both adopted Laura like a daughter, and they truly loved her. And also, since my dad passed, Laura filled that enormous void in my mother's life and never left her side. And my mom and I would go to every rough cut screening and premiere and awards night of Laura's, and you know, to Ellery and Jaya's birthdays, all of the important things that my dad used to do when he was alive. And one of the great gifts that my dad left to us was Laura. You know, he teaches us every day that it's worth giving everything you have to what you believe in. Laura does work that's so deeply moving, I think, because we find ourselves in her, the painful parts and the yearning parts and the parts that make us cry with laughter. She's also a very committed citizen of our planet who doesn't just talk about protecting the environment, she really fights for it. I'm just so grateful to have her as a beloved friend of mine, and so proud that she is the first woman to receive this award. Would have given you a standing ovation tonight, and I think he might have felt like we were making too big of a fuss about him to have an award in his name, but he would have been really happy it was going to you. And I know that, Laura, that you're here in Ireland more to honor his memory than to pick up an award for yourself, so I really love you and thank you so much for that. So yeah, my dad loved Dingo and he returned here throughout his life. Since I was here with Veronique, I just wanted to say that as Morris did, that Brian DeStack has designed this beautiful award, and we're so grateful for him. And Jim Sheridan, who received the second award, was another artist who my dad sought out and admired and loved deeply after watching My Left Foot, and they had a great friendship. And I'm just so honored that you're here tonight to present this award to the beautiful and fearless Laura Dern. Thank you, Jim.
You know, we're 3 years talking to Laura about giving her this award, and I was going to say, not as much planning went into bringing the Queen to Ireland. It's big works, I can tell you. So, just so we know what's going to happen, Jim is going to say a few words, right? And then we're going to watch some clips of Laura's work that the Seattle Film Festival put together. They honoured her in May this year, and they've given us permission to show this. It's about 11 minutes, and when the clip finishes, then Laura can come up and receive the award from Jim. I just want to say about Jim, you know, we've met over the years on and off, we know each other enormously well. What I'm getting to know about Jim, you're a great supporter of the Irish industry. And I know how busy you are. I've been reading The Independent today, HBO possibly with a new TV series, just finished one with Harvey Weinstein, a series with Up the Ten Commandments, is that right? And you've taken that project of Teddy Sullivan, the scripture film. So like, you're a very busy guy, I'm aware of that, and I really appreciate the gesture of you coming to us here this evening and giving us, being here to present this to Laura. So please give a big round of applause to Jim Sheridan.
Great to be here. When Morris called me, he's like, I want you to come down to Dingle, and I was like, why? And he said, we're going to go to Laura Dern, and I was like, oh no, not Laura Dern. For God's sake. And I said, and what award is it? And he said, a Gregory Peck Award, and I was like, Morris, what are you doing to me? I'm in the middle of pre-production. But now I have to go. Like, I could not turn up to present an award to somebody I met in Veronique's house, with Gregory, and like when me and Noel Pearson went to LA for the first time, you know, I had just come out of like the Irish Arts Centre, and you know, we got $200 a week maybe. And then I'm sorry, but when I went into your house, I was like, what is this? It's like, I mean, you know, the driveway was bigger than our street. And this guy comes up like he's 6'7", you know? And he's noble, and I know him from the pictures, you know, when I'm kind of below. And everything you see in the pictures is true, you know, like the most noble, deep integrity probably of any American actor. You know, the only one who would compete with him would be Henry Fonda, I think, and he'd probably lose. But Gregory Peck, if anybody had to distill the notion that there was something odd about the Irish, you know, that there was something quirky and not right, I mean, you only have to say, well, you know, Gregory Peck's Irish. And you kind of end the idea of the Irish as drunks and terrorists and everything that you can imagine that's been negatively portrayed. Because he came from a family where everybody knows the Ashes and the history, but he embodied that in every fibre of his body on screen. And Veronique, I can see her right now. You know, I look at see it, I'm like, oh my God. You know, these two beautiful parents and producing the most beautiful daughter. So Laura I met at a couple of dinners there, and like that was the second time I fell in love with her. The first was on the movies, but when you meet her in person, it's like, now I don't really think you're that person on the movies. You know? It's that kind of wild, untamed presence, you know. You're that as well, but you know. But a sweetheart and most adorable person, and beautiful kids, and you know, I don't have to say much about her acting because you've all seen her, and she got all the awards, and Ramblin' Rose genius, and I'm jealous of David Lynch. But she's now going to pretend she's Irish, right? And she's going to come back, and I'm definitely going to have to put her in the movie. Yeah, I'm just in love with all these people, Michael and everybody. They so helped us when we went to LA, not just like getting us into the industry, but just being there as really super normal people in a gigantic mansion, you know? But it made you feel that it was, you know, the Irish have that begrudgery thing, and like you see somebody in a big house, you go like, what did they do wrong? And, you know, and it was like the first time I felt like, oh God, maybe it'd be good to be upper aspirational. So, Laura, will we watch a bit of you, and then I'll give you the award if you want it. So let's run that stuff, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about, Amy.
You think I'm stupid? Is that what it is? You think I'm a fucking...
Jesus Christ!
I will destroy you! I will bury you! I will kill you, motherfucker!
I don't look like Adonis. I've got this real strange disease, and it makes my face look real unreal.
I'm not giving a picture.
I seen you that night, and I said, oh my God, that's the one. That is the one. The very special one. I never had to look no more.
My father's coming home. He's coming back to get me now. I had to wash my hair first.
No, your father ain't coming, and yes, you had to wash your hair, and you washed it for me.
In the dream, there was our world, and the world was dark because there weren't any robins, and the robins represented love. And for the longest time, there was just this darkness, and all of a sudden, thousands of robins were set free, and they flew down and brought this blinding light of love. And it seemed like that love would be the only thing that would make any difference. And it did.
The local judge praised defendant John Roy, but was dismayed to learn that Roy had had sex with the corpse. Roy's lawyer was
pollution, and now plan to put in the...
Beautiful. I'm just saying.
You're just saying? What, you're saying that you're totally fine with your teenage daughter running free with an older boy in a city that's famous for its vice and debauchery is totally fine with you?
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I'm saying.
I'm gay.
If rain was a color to paint on you, your heart would be the color blue. Be a gradient from mirror to your body, Mitchell, which remain a silver. You are the one they call Jesus Christ. Didn't know the rock and roll. Just a mission that you would be reposing, being living in the heart that always knows that there's a madness in the song. There's a madness in the song. So who wrote the rules? Who wrote the rules? Who wrote the rules? They say there's gonna be one of the try to lend a hand when the public's been on understand. So eyes on every one of us when somebody got it worse and took their heart. So eyes on every one of us when somebody got it worse and took their heart.
What was that? No, that was amazing, wasn't it?
Thank you.
So much Grevmalgut. And first to Mr. Sheridan, like, there could be no greater privilege because I probably fell in love with the soul, the pain, the beauty, and a deeper hope than I've ever seen on screen through his films and filmmaking, and my love of Ireland. So my greatest dream to come here was truly your influence and your extraordinary art. I'll start by speaking to Mr. Peck. I can't believe that I could ever receive something with Gregory Peck's name on it. I was raised by two actors who were influenced deeply as people because of Gregory Peck, as I was, because accepting an award with his name on it circles back so beautifully to this county, to this country, to the soul of these people, to the people I got to spend time with today, Cecilia's family, to Menard, to Dingle, because it's not just about art, it's about the soul of a man that you spoke so beautifully about, Jim. Gregory Peck transformed cinema into an opportunity for voice. He transformed cinema into an opportunity to reveal the broken longing for nobility. And I think that's why we fell so in love with Atticus, his magnificent Atticus in To Kill a Mockingbird. It's why we've fallen in love with those of us who'd never been here before, with this land, with the poets and the writers and the filmmakers and the artists, the potters, the singers and the dancers of this country, because there's a deep respect for this earth, for its history, for its origins, and for all that we have to offer if we just listen to what is being given from our deepest roots under our feet. And you felt that in every performance he ever gave, and you felt it in his politics, in his
deeply subversive and deeply fiercely honest, politicized, genuine nature throughout from the civil rights movement onward. Everything from gun control to protecting the health and welfare of veterans when they came back from the war. Gregory Peck was always there. So I accept this because of the gift of getting to be in his home, in front of his family, with his beloved friends, standing on the earth that inspired him to be the highest of himself. That's why I longed to come here, and now we'll be coming back when, yes, Mr. Sheridan gassed me. Without a pedal. And I can do whatever he wants. I just want to be with him in Ireland to reap the benefits of what I've learned in the last few days. You are the kindest, most welcoming, most extraordinary people. And now I know where all this magnificence of Gregory stemmed from, and it really does inspire me, first as a mother, as a person, and of course as a creative person, to be touched by all of you. And I just want to thank this insane genius of Morris Galway, who puts the most beautiful, as Cecilia said, festival together I've ever experienced, because the warmth of this place you hold in the palm of your hand and make sure that everything that this festival and these presentations are touched by hold this county's sentiment in them. You and your amazing wife, Catherine, with your gifts and your children, and the people you've introduced us to, Brian and Mairead, and this beautiful word you've created, and all the lovely people of Dingle and Skellig's Hotel. I mean, every single person I met has been an amazing dream. And there is one person that wanted me here tonight just about more than anyone. So I try to stand in her shoes, literally, which is Gregory's extraordinary wife, Veronique, who, yes, gave us the greatest gift anybody could ever ask for, my gorgeous Cecilia and her amazing family, who are truly family to me. And Veronique said a few years ago, I am not going to rest until you get to Dingle and get that award. So Morris made it happen for all of us, and she was determined to have the family here together to experience this. And why? Because Gregory would have wanted this. Gregory would have wanted this. So for Veronique, I accept this with such immense gratitude, and I will continue to consider your kindness with every step I take in my life. So thank you so much. And thank you so